Hey everyone, this is Jennifer with DP Addiction Adventures. Thank you for joining Elizabeth Ensley and I on this Earth Day collab. We are so excited you're here. Please stay tuned after this clip to learn how to win amazing prizes and unique facts about the Earth you never knew. So I will see you in just a minute. Okay, I hope everybody is settled in and has their craft of choice, their diamond painting, their crystal art, this beautiful canvas. Thank you so much, Amy Reed and their team, for finding us gorgeous pieces of art. Please go check out her channel. If this piece of art is not available for you to purchase, email her because she does have some on hold for us in this collab. So definitely check out crystalcanvas.us, and her website's back up and running, is running very smooth, and you should get it, you know, within a week and a half or so, depending on how quickly she's able to catch up from her like over the weekend. Hey, mayhem, because she had 4,000 pieces come into her website and she was completely sold out, and so everybody was just drooling, and so she's trying to keep up with that. So give her some grace, but thank you so much, crystalcanvas.usa. I wanted to just chew the fat with you, talk about this canvas and how gorgeous it is, the beautiful colors. Although when I did kit it up, I used this smaller, and I have to find, I did this with my other one, I have to find where I put the rest of the diamonds that didn't fit in here, because I'm running out of G's, but it's not, they're somewhere in my craft room. I just have to find it. But I have enough to get me through this WIP and chats. So my life this week has not been very interesting. There's really nothing much to report in the WIP and chat itself about my life right now. I'm on the struggle bus, which a lot of people are with this coronavirus. I will say I had a rough time watching our city with some of the different things that are going on. Our city was not exempt from it and was injured by the riots that were going on, and it just broke my heart. I was up till 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. My husband and I were watching the local news, and I'm not going to get into all that because I don't talk politics and white, black, all that on the channel, but I just, you know, have been struggling this week, just emotionally, with being caught up in the shelter in place, and then, you know, all that extra energy from not doing much more than just working and being in the home, you know, has to have somewhere to go. And I really think that's where a small percentage of the protesting is not overreacting. I think that that is necessary for what happened. I think the riot in burning your own community down is. And so it was just difficult to watch. And so I've just been recovering from that. I had a long day today, lots of clients. I'm always extra emotionally tired when I have clients back to back to back to back. But on the exciting front, I thought we could go over weird facts about our Earth, because this collab is about Earth Day. It's about loving the planet, loving plants, loving animals, being kind to where we live, kind to our community. I thought, what a better way than to learn some weird stuff about our Earth. And so I looked up some facts, and I'm super excited about that. Also, Elizabeth and I have this little behind the scenes stump ourselves with Golden Girl trivia, and her last video had a trivia question, and I want to answer it now before I get too far into the weird questions or the weird facts of our Earth. And so her question with Golden Girls. If you don't know what Golden Girls is, it's 3 ladies who live together, and one of the women, her mother lives as well. The 3 ladies are in their mid-50s when the show starts, and the mother is in her 80s, and they just they just live life. It's really funny. And one of the women, her name is Blanche, and she is very promiscuous. She is a, you know how you have a ladies' man? She's a man's woman. I don't know if that makes sense. Ladies' man. I don't know. Anyway, you know what I mean. And so Elizabeth asked me, thank you, collab partner. See her link down below if you want to go check out Elizabeth. She's doing once a week as well, WIP and chats. She's got a sense of humor like you wouldn't believe. It's so funny. And her perspective is just fresh. I love it. But her question was, what does Floyd McCallum, one of Blanche's men, own? And I kept going, okay, it's not the pharmacist because his name is Bill. I think his name's Bill. I was trying to think he's not the Santa guy. She loves Santa Claus. So my brain thought dry cleaner. So I'm going to guess dry cleaner is the answer, but I'm not sure. So let me know, Elizabeth, if I'm correct, but I think Floyd owns a dry cleaner. So, yep. And I love how she has like A men and B men. She ranks them. It's just so funny. It's like the opposite of the stereotype of a ladies' man. It's crazy. All right, we're just going to town on these V's. I'm using a mesh ruler. I will put the link down below. You can get it on Amazon or AliExpress. I have both the links there. So that's what I'm putting my round rhinestone crystals into. The one thing is I can't do large areas. So either you do large areas and sacrifice it being super straight, or you can have it super straight like this and use the mesh ruler. So on this one, I just decided to do the mesh ruler. I don't know why, I just did. It also allows me to do more bite-sized pieces, so I actually don't diamond paint until 4 a.m. So I can do that too. Okay, so let's get to fun facts about the Earth. So this first one I thought was really interesting, and it's the Earth's core is as hot as the sun's surface. So with uncertainty, the temperature at the center of the Earth is the same as the temperature at the surface of the sun, which is 5,800 Caltech. Geochemist Paul Asimov tells Popular Mechanics at about almost 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. So I thought that was interesting. And then this one was, the Earth is radioactive. In total, the Earth generates as much as 40 terawatts of heat, half of what comes from radioactive decay in its core. According to a 2011 study, scientists measured particles called antineutrinos that steamed up from the Earth's core and found that half of the Earth's heat is generated through the radioactive decay of certain elements. I'd like to know where there is a hole deep enough for steam from the core to come out. How do they know it's deep enough? I don't know, but that's interesting. I did a project on acid rain for a science fair, and I had tomato plants, and I had, I think 5 of them. I want to say 5, it might have been 10, and 1 fishing tank, and I had the same amount in another fishing tank, and I would spray and water one side with tomato juice, and I would spray and water the other side with water. and then I put a saran wrap over the top and emulated something similar to the rainforest, and then did a sign, because tomato juice is the same pH balance, at least at the time, as acid rain. And then it would decay the tomato plants. And it drove my mom crazy, because for 3 months we had these gnats, those little fruit fly gnats, everywhere in our house because I had rotted plants that I was growing in the house. She could not wait till that project was over. And I kept forgetting to water the plants, and she would have to remind me because it was a science project, so I had to be very particular about what days I watered, how many ounces, those kind of things, and it drove me crazy to be that specific. I love science, I love reading about it, but I don't like measuring perfectly. It just, yeah, I say this as I'm putting these drills in a mesh roller so that they're perfectly aligned, but there's just something different. I don't know. So that's a little side note for you. Let me see, I saw a B. There we go. All right, so the next one says life below the sea floor. So the sediments underlying Earth's ocean are home to approximately, I don't get this, it must be some kind of 2.9 times 10 to the 28th power microorganisms, existing depths at as great as 2.5 kilometers below the sea floor. So that's like even below like the actual floor of the sea. The majority of this deep subsea floor biosphere grows extremely slowly relative to life on the surface. Evidently, the cell division is once every 10 minus 1,000 years. There's life under life, I guess. Mosses are everywhere. Mosses live on the surface soils in deserts across the world. A cool thing about moss is that they have the ability to capture water straight out of the air using specialized structures that look like little hairs coming out of their leaves, called awns. USGS research ecologist Sasha Reed tells Popular Mechanics, in the dry places that these mosses live, that's a pretty cool trick. Interesting. So there is moss that grows in the desert. It's probably like, why did we pull the short stick and get the desert location? We wanted the forest location. When I first read it and it said moss grows everywhere, I'm like, oh, it's a lie. Moss doesn't just grow on the north side of the tree. Okay, I'm putting V back. Viva Las Vegas. I've never been to Las Vegas. How many of you have been to Las Vegas? And I don't know if I want to go. I'm kind of, you know, if I go, I go. If I don't, I don't. All right, so I'm working on X now. Earthquake weather is a myth. Each culture has its own version of earthquake weather to rationalize when and where an earthquake will hit. Earthquakes are below the surface and need a constant fault to happen, and that has nothing to do with the weather. I didn't think there was such a thing as earthquake weather, so I guess you learn something new. But that's interesting. Now, Twister, tornado weather, that's scary. My mom always told me, the sky turns mustard green. And so then when I'm out and about and the sky turns this eerie, like, green color, I'm like, we're gonna die. It's like, no, you're not gonna die. There is no tornado in the area yet. I'm like, ooh, yet? I'm going home. I'm going to my basement. So I used to have dreams because I don't know why. My grandmother has a basement, but I don't know why I didn't think that we would go into the basement. I always thought we're going to end up in her tub on the main floor because it's in the middle of the house. And so I'd always imagine myself hiding in the tub during a tornado. I do know my parents' dog, when she was alive, would hide in the tub during bad weather. I'd go into the bathroom and there'd be this big, because it was a shadow because the light was off, this big black blob in the tub, and I'd be like, oh, it's just Mindy. She's in there shaking. You could not pull her out if your life depended on it. There'd be times the tornado warning sign would go off and my sister would start crying, get Mindy! We're like, we cannot pull this 70-pound dog down 2 flights of stairs. So she's like, Mindy's gonna die. We're like, no. And then, yeah. Thankfully, we were blessed because I know that tornadoes have had a lot of destruction. And people have seen what it does. And it ruins houses and lives and businesses. So we were very blessed. So I'm not making fun of that. But my sister was so like, I love that dog. I am not leaving this floor unless you grab her. And then we'd have to grab her and pull her down 2 flights of stairs. And she'd be like, like, don't give us attitude right now. Oh, seas could rise 2.5 feet by 2100. We are headed towards a 2-foot sea level rise by the end of the century, climate scientist tells Popular Mechanics. Consequences from 1 to 2 foot sea level rise could mean severe threats to low-lying islands, loss of narrow, shallow beaches, and the demise of marine ecosystems. And then fact number 7, clouds help regulate Earth's temperature. If you bring all water droplets and clouds to the surface, you could cover Earth with a liquid film no thicker than a human hair. And yet, this tiny amount of water makes the difference between cool, overcast summer days and warm, clear days, and is immensely important for a climate. On average, clouds cool the Earth by 13 degrees Fahrenheit, relative to what global temperatures would be without clouds. Interesting. Interesting. Do you guys have an interesting fact? I always loved reading those Guinness Book of World Records and different facts like the 7 wonders of the earth. And it's crazy. I still don't know how the pyramids were built. Those blocks. It just boggles my mind. I wonder if it's like, hey man, he came and built them. All right, I'm working on the K. Now, K and X are both here. And so I have to be very careful to make sure. I know I already did X, but I did miss a few. So I have to be careful not to put a purple K on a blue X area. My hair keeps falling out, people. We don't know who named the Earth. Unlike other planets, no real historical data can be found on the person or group that named our planet Earth. The term Earth comes from Old English and High Germanic and is the only planet not named after a Greek or Roman god. Interesting. Earth is a heat engine. Earth is a giant heat engine. Heat from the sun is absorbed where it is warm, the low latitudes and the surface, and heat is radiated as infrared where it's cold, the higher latitudes in the atmosphere. The work of the heat engine goes into kinetic energy of winds and storms. Interesting. Our Earth is so complex. I mean, it's amazing when you start digging into the science and cell regeneration and just human life and plant life. And I mean, the fact that plants can take the sun, to make them green and photosynthesis and create food, and it's just, I don't know, it's just amazing. So my daughter, I think, is gonna go, I don't know, she loves to draw, layouts of houses. And I'm like, you're going to be an architect, aren't you? And she's like, no. She just loves to draw them. But then she also likes forensic science. And I was thinking of you, Mistria. I might ask you a couple questions. I signed her up for a forensic science day camp for a week this summer. But she loves science and the whole idea of police investigation and detectives and figuring out clues. And she's got the logic behind it. She loves figuring things out. So I signed her up for that. She's so excited. They're gonna learn about fingerprinting and DNA, and I'm hoping she enjoys it. I've heard good things about it. So let me get these K's done, and then we'll go to the next fact. Ta-da! I think I'm done. It says, but not an effective one. Okay, so it's continuing that the Earth is not very efficient heat engine. The temperature difference between the warm parts and the cold parts is as few as 10 of K, so theoretically Carnot efficiency is about 10%. But most of what is wasted by the warm parts radiating their heat to the cold parts, creating entropy. The heat engine is about 1% efficient in generating kinetic energy. So it only creates 1% energy. Yeah, that's pretty efficient. Call the energy company. We have GE. Call GE. Our Earth thermostat is not working. Route 66 is longer than the distance to the Earth's core. Whew, interesting. Route 66. The boundary between the Earth's mantle and core is roughly 3,000 kilometers below our feet, a little less than the total length of America's Mother Road, Route 66. Thought to be a simple interface between solid rocks and liquid, iron-rich metal, this remote region is almost as complex as the Earth's surface. I did not know that. Interesting. Let's see. A magnitude 12 earthquake would split the Earth in half. We've never seen anything larger than a 9.5, and it was longer than the state of California. It would be theoretically impossible to have a magnitude 13 earthquake since it would require a fault bigger than the Earth. Wow. Yeah. Let's just not have any earthquakes. Can we just kind of agree on that? Just saying here. All right, we're moving to sixes. Earthquakes can be felt on the other side of the planet. Earthquakes can happen over 400 miles below the Earth's surface and be felt literally on the other side of the Earth. In 2013, a magnitude 8 occurred near the Kuril Islands at about 400-mile depth, but people in Australia felt the event. Ooh. Shaky. Earth's a-shaking. There are 1 billion microbes in a teaspoon of soil. The number of microbes in a teaspoon of soil is estimated to be roughly the equivalent to the number of humans currently living in Africa, 1 billion. How do they... That has to be some sort of computer program, because I don't think there's somebody sitting in a closet with a microscope counting microbes. They're like, wait, get over here. I already counted you. What? I got to start over again. Get back in line. 1, 2, Junior. Oh my gosh. It'd be like Home Alone when they're counting the people who are going overseas and she counts the neighbor kid. Miscalculates. This one was interesting. The planet Earth is more shaped like an oblate sphere, which looks like a flatter circle, but it's definitely not flat. So it's not perfectly round. And I found that's because like we're spinning, and so the gravitational pull is like making the Earth a little bit more ob-shaped. Okay, this says days are getting longer. The tides are the small differences between the gravitational pull of the moon and the sun and the centrifugal forces in the opposite direction. The tides on Earth are stronger when the three bodies are in line, which happens near a full moon and a new moon. Then the Earth is being stretched out along that line. The ocean responds the most, but even the solid Earth responds to the tidal forces. The response consists of water moving in the oceans and rocks underground, both which dissipate kinetic energy. The net result is that the Earth is spinning down and the days are getting longer. Well, I think it's going to take a long time for the days to get long enough for me to notice. I don't think I'm going to be around. All right, do you guys want one more? Okay. You can see Earth, well, there's two more. You can see Earth shrinking from space. Groundwater pumping can cause significant land surface substance, enough so that it can be seen from space. Sheets says researchers use satellites and GPS stations to track how far the Earth has sunk. Interesting. And here's the last one. And oh my gosh, I can't believe they put this in here during this time. I know they wrote this article a long time ago. But there are more viruses than stars in the universe. Earth is teeming with viruses. There's an estimated 10 non-nalinian individual viruses on the planet. That's enough to assign one to every star in the universe 100 million times over. Oh, wow. So the next time we sneeze, we can thank the fact that we have that many viruses. Oh, goodness. So I would love if you went over to Creative Craft Addictions Facebook, if you are Facebook, and show your work in progress. Or if you want on Crystal Canvas Arts Facebook page, show your work in progress and just like hashtag it, Earth Day Collab or something fun so we know that you're joining us. And, oh, that's a B. You gotta be careful, people. Gotta be careful. So yeah, I would love to see your progress. I can't, you guys get to see my progress and Elizabeth's progress. I want to see your progress. I'd love to see it. Also, please note that somewhere in this video was a word in my Bitmoji, and that is part of how you get into the drawing for a free crystal canvas. So at the end of the collab, once you've collected all the words, they're in the same order. They're not mismatched or anything. In the order of the videos, you will submit them to the email address in the link below. And that will put you in the drawing to win a free canvas during this collab. And then if you do make a monetary donation to an Earth Planet, Love the Planet, flowers, plants, save the whales, kitty cats, something that has to do with loving a living creature, and you send an email showing a confirmation number or a receipt, basically just proof that you made a donation. We do not care how much. We're not concerned about that. You will be entered into the drawing to win one of 4 cover minders for my channel or 4 cover minders for Elizabeth's channel, or the grand prize of a Moonstone Tree of Life necklace. And if you want to know what the prizes are, check out the past video. I'm going to be putting it at the link at the end of this video. So it'll be the next video you can click on and you can see that moonstone. So those are the 2 ways that you can be part of the collab as far as winning prizes, as well as listening to our WIP and chats. We love you all. Thank you so much. And thank you for hanging in there with us as we figure this collab out one step at a time. So I can't wait to see you next week. I don't have a question for Elizabeth this week, but I do want to wish her a wonderful week. And I love you, girl. I love everybody out there. And until next time, be blessed. Take care. Bye-bye.